What I'm about to tell you about your fatty liver is going to completely change the way you think about reversing it. Because if you've been eating clean, cutting out sugar, dropping the alcohol, maybe even doing keto or intermittent fasting, and your liver enzymes still aren't budging, your belly is still soft and swollen, and your last ultrasound still came back with that dreaded word steatosis on it, there is a reason. And it has almost nothing to do with how much fat or how many carbs you're eating. I'm Dr. Eric Berg, and after 30 years of helping people just like you reverse fatty liver disease using root cause science, most doctors never learned in medical school. I can tell you with absolute certainty, there is one missing nutrient that controls whether your liver can actually heal itself or stay stuck in the same fatty, inflamed, dysfunctional state for years. Stay with me, because the number one nutrient I'm going to reveal at the end of this video, I guarantee you are deficient in it, and you're probably doing one thing every single day that's depleting it without realizing it. Now let me paint you a picture, because I see this all the time in my practice. You wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep. You have this dull, heavy feeling on the right side of your rib cage. Not pain exactly, just pressure. Your belly looks bloated by the end of the day, no matter what you eat. Your skin tags are multiplying. You're seeing dark patches on your neck or under your arms. Your cholesterol panel is weird. Triglycerides creeping up, HDL dropping. Your blood sugar is hovering in that pre-diabetic zone, and your doctor just shrugs and says, "Let's watch it." Meanwhile, you've cleaned up your diet. You've cut out the sugar, the seed oils, the processed junk. You've added the leafy greens and the wild-caught fish, and nothing, absolutely nothing, is changing on your labs. And here's the truly scary part. According to the American Liver Foundation, over 100 million Americans now have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and the vast majority don't even know it. The CDC has reported that fatty liver is now the fastest growing cause of liver transplants in adults under 50 in the United States. And by the time your standard liver panel, your ALT and AST, finally flag a problem, the damage has often been silently progressing for 10, 15, sometimes 20 years. You're not crazy. You're not lazy. And it's not your fault. There's a piece of this puzzle that almost no doctor is talking about. Now, for decades, you've been told that fatty liver is a calorie problem. Eat less, exercise more, cut the fat, lose the weight, and your liver will magically clear itself out. The American Heart Association still pushes a low-fat, high-grain diet for liver health. Your doctor probably told you to lose 10% of your body weight and sent you on your way. But here's the problem. That advice is based on outdated thinking from the 1980s, and modern hepatology is proving it dead wrong. In fact, a 2023 review published in The Lancet Gastroenterology and Hepatology showed that even patients who lost significant weight and followed standard dietary guidelines often saw little to no improvement in liver inflammation or fibrosis on follow-up biopsies. And researchers at the Cleveland Clinic have demonstrated that fatty liver is not primarily a problem of too many calories. It is a problem of metabolic dysfunction, specifically insulin resistance combined with mitochondrial damage and, critically, micronutrient depletion. Let me say that again, because this is critical. You can be eating a perfectly clean, low-carb, organic, whole food diet and still have a fatty liver that refuses to reverse, because your liver is missing the raw materials it needs to do its job. The food alone is not enough. You can give your liver the cleanest fuel in the world, but if the engine doesn't have the right spark plugs, it's not going anywhere. So let me explain what's actually happening in your body. Your liver is the most metabolically active organ you have. It performs over 500 known functions: detoxifying chemicals, manufacturing bile, regulating blood sugar, building cholesterol, processing hormones, storing vitamins. And to do all of that, it relies on tiny cellular machines called mitochondria. Now think of your mitochondria like little power plants inside every liver cell. They take fat, they burn it for energy, and they ship the leftovers out. When those power plants are running well, your liver burns through fat like a furnace. But when they get sluggish, fat starts to back up inside the liver cell like a clogged drain. And that's when steatosis, fatty liver, takes hold. Here's what most doctors miss. The mitochondria don't run on willpower. They run on specific nutrients. And the single most important one, the one I'm going to keep coming back to, is choline. Choline is technically an essential nutrient. The National Academy of Medicine officially recognized it as essential back in 1998. And yet, according to data from the NIH and analyses published in the journal Nutrients, over 90% of Americans do not get the recommended adequate intake of choline. 90%. Let that sink in. Choline is the nutrient your liver uses to package up fat and ship it out of the liver cell in the form of something called VLDL, very low density lipoprotein. No choline, no packaging, no export. And the fat just sits there, accumulating day after day, year after year, even if your diet is pristine. And this is where it gets even more interesting. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has shown that when healthy adults are placed on a choline-deficient diet, they develop measurable fatty liver in as little as a few weeks. A few weeks. And when choline is reintroduced, even without any other dietary change, the liver fat begins to clear. Studies out of the University of North Carolina, where some of the leading choline research has been done by Dr. Steven Zeisel, have repeatedly confirmed this. Choline is not optional. It is the missing link in liver recovery. But here's the part nobody talks about. Modern eating patterns have systematically stripped choline out of the diet. The richest sources of choline in nature are egg yolks, liver, and red meat. Exactly the foods the American Heart Association has been telling you to avoid for 40 years. When you cut the yolks and eat only the whites, you remove almost all the choline. When you avoid organ meats, you lose the most concentrated source on the planet. When you go plant-based without careful planning, your choline intake can drop to dangerously low levels. And on top of that, certain genetic variations, particularly in a gene called MTHFR, which research from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health has shown affects nearly half the population, make your choline needs significantly higher than average. And you may literally need twice as much as someone else, and you've been eating half of what you should. Now, there's more to this story because choline doesn't work alone. Your liver also depends on what I call its detox cofactors: magnesium, zinc, B vitamins, especially B12 and folate, and the powerful antioxidant glutathione. And here's what's actually happening in your body when these get depleted. Your liver runs on a two-phase detoxification system. Phase 1 breaks toxins down, and phase 2 packages them up to be excreted. If phase 2 falls behind, and it almost always does when you're low in glutathione, sulfur, and B vitamins, the partially broken down toxins get stuck inside the liver cell, creating massive oxidative stress and inflammation. This is exactly what researchers at the Mayo Clinic have described in their work on metabolic-associated fatty liver disease. The liver isn't just storing fat, it's marinating in inflammation, and that inflammation is what eventually turns simple fatty liver into NASH, then fibrosis, then cirrhosis. And the biomarker your doctor should be watching, but probably isn't, is GGT, gamma-glutamyl transferase. GGT is one of the most sensitive early warning signs of liver oxidative stress, far more sensitive than ALT or AST. If your GGT is creeping up even within the so-called normal range, your liver is screaming for help. So here's what you need to do, and I want you to take this seriously because when my patients follow this exact sequence, I've seen liver enzymes normalize and ultrasounds clear up in as little as 60 to 90 days. First, you need to flood your body with choline-rich whole foods. That means whole eggs, yolks and all, ideally pasture-raised. 2 to 3 a day is a beautiful place to start for most people. Add in grass-fed liver, even if it's just once a week. If you absolutely cannot stomach liver, look into desiccated liver capsules from a clean source. Add wild-caught salmon, sardines, and grass-fed beef. These foods are not the enemy of your liver. They are the medicine your liver has been begging for. Second, you need to support your mitochondria. That means getting enough magnesium, and magnesium glycinate is one of the best absorbed forms. It means making sure your B vitamins are covered, especially the methylated forms of B12 and folate, particularly if you carry the MTHFR variant. And it means supporting your glutathione production with sulfur-rich foods, garlic, onions, cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, arugula, and Brussels sprouts. The sulforaphane in cruciferous vegetables has been shown in studies published in the journal Hepatology to significantly upregulate the liver's natural detoxification enzymes. Third, and this is the step almost everyone skips, you need to address insulin resistance directly. Because as long as insulin is high, your liver will keep manufacturing fat no matter what you eat. This is where intermittent fasting becomes a game changer. Dr. Jason Fung's work has shown again and again that extended fasting windows, starting with simple 16-hour fasts and progressing from there, give the liver the metabolic rest it needs to actually empty itself out. A 20-minute walk after each meal, something Dr. Benjamin Bickman has highlighted in his research, can dramatically lower post-meal insulin spikes. Fourth, get the right tests. Don't accept your liver looks fine from a basic panel. Ask specifically for a fasting insulin, a HOMA-IR calculation, a GGT, a ferritin, a homocysteine, and ideally an elastography or fibroscan if you've had fatty liver for a while. These are the tests that tell you the real story. And fifth, remove the things that are draining your choline and glutathione, chronic alcohol, even moderate amounts, seed oils like soybean and corn oil, high fructose corn syrup, and unnecessary medications when possible, always under the guidance of your physician. Now, I promised you at the beginning that I would reveal the number one missing nutrient and the one thing you are probably doing every single day that's depleting it. Here it is. The nutrient is choline, and the daily habit that's destroying it is chronic, low-grade stress combined with skipping egg yolks. Stress hormones, particularly cortisol, dramatically increase your body's demand for choline, methyl donors, and B vitamins. Every stressful day, every poor night of sleep, every skipped meal of real food, and every healthy egg white omelet is quietly draining the one nutrient your liver needs the most. And when my patients add back whole pasture-raised eggs, prioritize sleep, manage their stress, and address their methylation pathway, I have watched fatty liver reverse on ultrasound within 3 months. Most of them had never heard the word choline before they walked into my office. If this video helped you, do me a favor. Share it with someone you care about, because chances are they have fatty liver too and they don't even know it. And if you want to go deeper, I have another video where I break down the early warning signs of insulin resistance most doctors completely ignore. I'll link it for you right now, and you don't want to miss it. Remember, your body has an incredible ability to heal itself when you give it the right inputs and remove the wrong ones. Your liver wants to regenerate. It's the only organ that can fully rebuild itself, but it needs the right raw materials to do it. I'm Dr. Eric Berg, and I'll see you in the next video.